requirement governing the design. Yesterday we started that. We went through a couple of terminologies yesterday. So today I'm going to go over that, and we're going to see an example of how a requirement gets converted into a design, right? Design, and then how the design gets converted into an actual software, and then how you guys are going to test it. So we're going to take a simple example of the whole scenario, right? So yesterday what we did, we went through the entire requirement phase where we spoke about software requirements, where requirement is a description of a software system to be developed. So we stuck with this definition. We just ignored the rest of the blah blah stuffs, right? So here, requirement is a description of a software system to be developed. So yesterday we clearly explained this, saying that every requirement or every software or every system that is being developed, even I can remove the software, any system. Yesterday we spoke about washing machine, right? Now the washing machine that has to be developed, we wrote around 8 to 9 requirements on the washing machine. So based on these requirements, that's where, say example, wash my clothes, 2, timer, I should have a timer, 3, I should have on and off facility. So yesterday we were talking about this. Now in class 1 we were talking about this. Now these features are going to be my requirement when I am actually going to design this washing machine, right? When I'm going to actually design this washing machine, right? So I should have an on or off feature, so I'll have that. I should have a timer, so I will start working on the timer. So each and every feature is going to be your design. So that's why we said requirements govern the design. So that is where we stand. We always say requirement govern the design, because without requirement there is no design. So first thing that comes is the requirement, and then it starts with the design. Okay. Okay. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to see in practical how does this happen, right? Now let's take a simple example. Now I'm going to take a simple example of how the flow happens. So the requirement comes from the stakeholder, right? The requirement, say example, the stakeholder will say, I want a machine which can wash my clothes. So that's the requirement. That's how the requirement comes from the stakeholder. Now this requirement is taken by the project manager, who is going to manage this whole project. This whole requirement is going to be a project now. He is going to take and manage the project, where he will have developers who will develop the product. Say for a washing machine, these are going to be designers who's going to develop the product, and then it's going to be handed over to the testers to test the product and back to the stakeholders. So it will go back to the project manager will give it back to the stakeholder. So this is the flow in which our software or any product company works. Right from the stakeholder to project manager to design team, the development team, and then testing team back to the project manager carries to the stakeholder. So the entire flow, this is how the entire flow is. Now looking at this, let's see a simple example of how a requirement is getting converted into different phases. Now this is a requirement that we got. This is an actual requirement that one of a company got for a kindergarten software. Kindergarten software. Okay, where They wanted to create an application that can add two numbers. There were multiple things, add, subtract, divide, all those things were there. But I'm just taking one requirement out of the whole stuff, right? Now, this is how the stakeholders will have. They don't know what the software is going to look like. They don't know what technology we are going to use. They don't know who's going to design the software. Nothing they know, right? So all they know is that I want to add two numbers. That is, my students who are in my class should use an application where they can learn how to add two numbers. That's all the requirement is. Now what they will do, this requirement will be floated in the market. Now companies like Infosys, Wipro, TCS, HCL, there are n number of companies, Accenture, IBM, all will pitch in for this particular project, depending upon the budget they give. So how do they pitch in? They will take this requirement, right? They will process it in their company with a set of business analysis they have, the BAs they have, to find out what are the functionalities that is required in that, how long will it take for them to design, how many resources that is required. This all back-end activity will be done and they will come out with a budget. So IBM will come out with the budget, Accenture will come out with the budget, Infosys will come out with the budget, Wipro will come out with the budget, TCS will come out with the budget, HCL will come out with the budget. So each and every budget might vary depending upon their resources, depending upon the time that they calculate, everything, right? Now all these things will be submitted to them, to the company, and finally company selects one vendor based on the total budget and the background of how stable the company is, how long the company is, how reliable the company is, what is the customer review of those company. Everything is taken into consideration and the company is decided. Now once the company is decided, right, now the project starts. So once the project starts, the project manager comes into picture, right? He takes this requirement and then he has a set of BAs with him. Now these business analysts are domain experts. What do you mean by domain experts?
Domains means financial, healthcare.
So not only financial, healthcare, retail, telecom, right? Yes, perfect.
Any functional area, if they have any expertise.
Functional area in the sense?
I mean, any stream, any expertise that they have. Yeah, any stream.
Stream, perfect. So domain experts are people who are experts in a specific stream, right? Say example, they are banking people, where they know what functionalities are required. Functionalities are required if you want to create a new banking website. You have domain experts for banking, you have domain experts for insurance, you have domain experts for telecom. In my team, I have 3 BAs. Okay, they are banking experts, domain experts on banking. Okay, so their job is to bring in the functionalities that would help customers or that help the company to have more revenue, right? Now this BA will provide all the functionalities that are required. So what is the functionality that is required for adding 2 numbers, right? What is the functionality that, say example, what is the functionality that is required to add 2 numbers? What do you need to add 2 numbers?
We need to add 2 numbers. We need input 2 numbers.
Correct. Input. Perfect.
We need two numbers as data.
Yes.
And then a method to which calculates these.
So I say yes, or logic. I'll say logic. Let's use Okay, perfect.
which adds up these two numbers like A plus B and then display. Then
Correct.
we display it in any format.
Yeah, and I will say a button that can trigger that.
Oh yeah.
I say a button that can trigger that, right? What a BA would or a design document would look like, right? This is a design document. Here, you see two input text boxes with label value 1 and value 2. That is the input box A and B, right? That's what Bhushan told us, right? Input type value 1 and value 2 should be numeric. Yeah, we need to add two numbers, right? So it should be, I can't add A plus B there. I have to add 5 plus 5 or 6 plus 5. So it should be numeric. Code, yes, logic. Perfect. So you should have a logic, that formula that can add these things. And a button that can trigger the whole activity and give me the output. Right, give me the output. So this is how the design starts, right? This is how the design starts, right? So now once the design document is ready, so till now everything is in documents. There's nothing we have physically done anything. So the BA will develop two documents. BA will develop the BRD and the FRD. Now don't worry, this is business requirement document, and FRD is functional requirement document. Now these two documents, right? Don't worry, we are going to see these documents in detail. We are going to see these two documents in detail when we are going to see manual testing. Now it's not necessary for us to go through this. It's too much of an information. So just know that the BA creates these documents. So one of these documents, that is the design document, he will have all the information here. Now once the document is ready, right? Once the document is ready, we are going to create a prototype. What is a prototype? A sample application, right? To see how the whole flow is going to look like. So now when you look at the prototype would look like this. You see here, two input boxes, input box with value 1 and value 2. Here value 1, value 2. Now input field should be numerical. That is a check inside. Formula is at the back end, and a submit button to trigger the total, So you will get the output here. This is how the requirement that starts from add two numbers and display a total, which is like a statement, is converted into a design document, and then it's converted into a visible application. So this is how the whole flow is. Now in between you have the BA, right, who creates this. Then you have the developer who creates this, right? So these are all people in between. We have architects, technical architects. Call them tech arcs. Technical architect who decide what technology, whether it should be a Java based application, it should be a .NET based application, should be a PHP based application, what technology we need to use, how many servers do we need, all those things are decided by the architect. So what happens if you look at the flow? If you will have a project manager who manages the whole project. Under the project manager you have the BA who works directly with the project manager. Then you have a technical architect, then you have developers, then you have testers. Now the flow goes like this. So once the BA develops the design document, the technical architect takes the document and designs what system and technology the entire application should be developed on. This is a back-end activity that happens. While at that time, the developer takes this design document and creates the application. The tester takes this design document and starts working on the test cases. Once the application is ready, the tester will take the application, use these test cases and test the application. So that's how the whole process goes. Guys, thank you, Chitra.
Rajesh, I have a question. What is the role of project manager here exactly? I mean, what he's doing, and how he's managing all this.
See, the project manager's role is basically to interact with all these people. He need not be a technical person. Okay, he need not be a technical person. Okay. So his responsibility is to interact with this person. His responsibility is to interact with all these different teams to come out with a schedule. Okay. Schedule is the list of dates and the total number of, let's say example, in this week what I'm going to will complete, in this week what is going to be submitted, in this what is going to be submitted, when is my release 1, when is my release 2, when is my release 3, all these dates are being prepared by the project manager.
Okay.
And then he tracks these dates based on a day-to-day activity. He tracks these dates. Okay. So he checks. Okay, today is Tuesday. We are supposed to finish X functionality. So he tracks with the development team to find out whether this is completed. If it's not completed, we will find out why it's not completed. If there is a risk, then we will create a risk and mitigation document. We'll go through all those things. Okay, when we are looking at the documents, you will understand what all documents that come into picture when you are working. Okay, so he'll create this risk and mitigation document. All those things are.
So you under the project manager, there is a BA. And then technical architecture, developer, and the tester. So BA means you mean as a business requirement?
No, business analyst.
Business analyst. Oh, okay. That's what I meant.
They are domain experts.
Domain experts. Okay.
Okay, BR is business requirement. This is BA.
So business analyst. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have one more question. The project manager, as you said, need not be technical. So, like you said, there are so many different domains, like bank, healthcare, insurance, and all. So the project manager need not be from expert in healthcare, and that's why he's given this project.
No.
It could be anyone, but he has BAs to help him out.
No, he doesn't need to know technical. His responsibility is, say example, I'm a project manager. Okay. I have 14 years experience in banking. Okay. But if you put me in a project and say design a banking application, I cannot do that. Okay. But you tell me to manage the project, I can manage the project. Got it?
Okay.
So, America, when they started the project, right, what will happen is that the BA knows what are the functionalities that a banking application should have. Example, like, account summary. Then in account summary, there should be checking, savings, credit card information. Then then you should have a mortgage list where you can apply for home loan, car loan, all those things. So these are functionalities that the bank or these are facilities that the bank offers, right? All these have to come in as a functionality into your web-based application. So the BA knows what functionalities that is required for an application when a customer comes and logs in. So his responsibility is that I don't know what are the features that has to be there.
Okay.
Right. So what I will do, I will sit with, say example, my next release that is coming. Okay. I will sit with the BA. BA will give me a complete picture of Rajesh. This is the flow before we had. Now with this technology we can completely omit this, bring in these features features into a single page, which can display multiple information for the customer in single view. Okay, that sounds good. So I will take the whole thing, pitch it to the stakeholder. Okay, once the project starts. Now what we were looking at is, if the project is not there and initially starting, the stakeholder will come down, right, to the project manager. Now here, when I am with Citibank, which is already there in the application, new features, I will take it to the stakeholder. Stakeholder will say, yeah, we like it. Yes, we can go ahead. Then I will give them the budget. He will approve the budget and I will go ahead with the project. I really don't know what is that feature. What it looks good. Okay, fine. I'm not comfortable. Reject. That's all. Understood. I am not a technical guy. So I will then, what will happen once the stakeholder approves and I get the budget. Say example, I get 1 million budget. Now my responsibility is that I told that why do I need 1 million? Because I need say 40 days to get this completed. So 40 days with X number of resources, total this many hours into per resource budget gives me a total calculation. That's what I would have projected there. Now my responsibility is to complete it within that 40 days.
Okay.
Because the money is already transferred to me.
Yeah.
If it goes 45 days, then I am running short of my money, right?
Yes.
So then I will take it from some other project and I have to adjust that.
Okay.
Okay. So that is where the project manager's main role comes in.
Okay.
So now let's take a simple example. Now let's see this live example. Now what we did, we converted this requirement into design, and from the design we converted this into an application, right? Now let's see how the whole thing looks like. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take this whole application, I'm going to bring this application on my screen now. Okay, so it is. Where did that go now? Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. Now what I'm going to do now is, okay. So till now what we did, we converted this basic requirement into a design document, and design document we did a prototype of the application, how the application should look like, right? Now I'm going to show you the application. So this is the application, right? This is the application. Let's see how the code looks like. This is how the code looks like. Okay, this is how the code looks like, where I have 2 input fields. These are my 2 input fields. These are my 2 input fields, this one and this one. And then I have a submit button. I am taking the values that I'm entering in the input field, I'm posting those values, and then what I'm doing is, here is where my logic is. So I am adding up value 1, value 2, putting it inside the variable called total, and I am printing the variable. So very simple code. This is a PHP code. not Java, not .NET. It's just a simple PHP code which we are going to achieve our objective. Now here, this is how the application looks like at online. Now I'm going to give, say, example 6. I'm going to give 7. I'm going to add these two numbers. So I'm going to hit the submit, and I'm getting the total as 13. So I'm getting 13, right? So this is how you start testing. Now let's do some basic testing, right? Give me one test case that you can test here.
Enter the numbers.
Okay, enter 5 and 6, right? Enter test here.
Connect numbers is done, so we're gonna get the. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so it should give us like if we can plus it or we can subtract from two numbers.
So enter negative numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Add odd numbers.
Enter a value in one box and leave the other box empty.
Yes. Enter value in one box and other empty. Number, yes. Alphabets, perfect.
Enter integers.
Enter integers. Integer in the sense? What do you mean by integer and a number? What difference it is?
Yeah, actually, I'm supposed to say decimals and integers, but
someone said that. No.
Very large numbers like 100-digit number.
Come out with 6 test cases, right? That we can do with just these 2 boxes. Right? This is how you have to think. This is how you have to think when a situation is given to you. Right? You have 2 text boxes. Now give me a set of test cases. This is one of the interview questions that they will ask. Right? Say example, in Google search field, what are the types of tests that you will do? So you have to know, you have to understand what are the things that you can enter and what are the things that you can test. So in just these 2 text boxes where it can only accept numbers, right? Enter whole numbers is a positive test. Is a positive test. Enter negative number. This application is not designed for negative numbers. So this is a negative test. We'll talk about positive testing, negative testing when we are looking into the methodologies. We will be talking about positive testing and negative testing. That is positive testing in the sense, if we do 5 and 5, that is what the application is designed for. That's positive testing. If I use -5 and -2, the application is not designed to take negative values, right? It is for addition. That means it's a negative test. That is, you are testing a negative value to see what error message that you will get. Enter value in one box and leave the other box empty. That's also a valid test. That is also a negative test, right? Then enter decimal numbers. That's again a positive test. Say you want to test say 1.5 and 1.6, what would be the total of this? So enter alphabets. That is, this application is not designed for alphabets, right? This application is designed only for numeric values. So if I give A and B, what it should give me? They should throw an error message. So that error message is what you're testing. So then it's a negative test. Enter large number. Say, yeah, if I'm putting like 305, it should be able to give me 305. It should be able to test. So that's a positive test because the application is designed for that. So we will segregate our testing as positive testing, and negative testing. So we will be writing test cases for positive testing. We will be writing test cases for negative testing. So this is how the whole scenario for writing, starting from your business requirement down to a design document, and from a design document into an application, and from the application to a testing. This is how the entire flow goes. Once you test all and it's perfectly fine, you sign off, and then it goes into production. So this is the entire flow of your software life cycle. This is the flow of your software life cycle. Starts from the business requirement and ends into a production application.
Yeah, at a given point when we get application, as a tester, we have to always think from the positive side and the negative side and write the test cases on both.
Yes.
For every application.
Yes. So you will, when the business requirement document is given to you, you will list out what are the positive test cases and you will list out what are the negative test cases.
So these are the only two types of testing we have. The types of testing.
No, these are not types of testing. These are, I can say, in black box testing, right? When you are writing your test cases, you will write like this. There are different types of testing. It starts from functional testing, then you go from functional to integration testing, then from integration you will go to system testing. There are different types of testing, right? But when you write your test cases, you don't write test cases for functional testing, integration testing. You write test cases only for system testing. Don't worry, we'll talk about it when we are there. Okay. So when you write your test cases, you will write negative test cases and positive test cases.
Okay, Rajesh. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, welcome.
So we will be discussing the types of testing in future classes.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So like, in real time, how many members will be there in a team, and will certain people be expected to write only the positive cases, or, it's like a group, we have to just write our own test cases for any application?
Depends on the company you work with. Say example, and under the domain, you have 4 projects. So now the 4 projects, one project has 3 testers. Another project has 1 tester. Depending upon each and every project. But in every project, you would be given one functionality. Okay. Project. What my test manager, I won't be interacting with you. I have a test manager who reports to me, and the test manager has a test lead who reports to the test manager, and the test lead, you say you are joining as a tester, you will be reporting to the test lead. Okay. So the test lead, what he will do, he will give you a functionality. Now, when you write test case for that functionality, say example, they are asking you to write a functionality for sending a mail. Okay. Now, when you write the functionality, you will write the functionality for both negative and positive. It's not like one entire group will write positive test cases, another entire group will write negative test cases.
Particular template to write the test cases?
Yes, there are particular templates. When we are when we move into manual testing, right?
Okay.
I would give you the template, and we will write in the template.
Oh.
So, but the company template varies from company to company. Okay. The template that I have is Quality Center came into picture. Okay. Now they are this I'm talking about, say 6 years before. Okay. Now we write directly into Quality Center. There are small companies that they still follow Excel sheet. Okay. So the template that we use is a generic template. Okay. That it's not like it's specifically designed for. So once you know one template the data is going to be the same in any template.
Yeah.
The template is available in the link I gave you. It's already there. The documents are all there.
Oh, is it open?
Yeah. Now I would recommend now don't go view the template. Wait for manual testing. When I explain, you will have a better understanding.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Okay. Yeah. If you're going to write positive test cases in the application that we are going to give you, so wait for the manual testing course that is almost will start next week. You will have a better understanding of that. Okay.
My question is like all these test cases, do we have to write the test cases or it is given by the developer? Okay, so it's the tester who's supposed to write.
Yes.
Like all these
Everything is done. Everything is done with the developer and given to you. Why should I pay you?
Okay.
Right? You have to write the test cases. You have to execute those test cases, and you have to tell them where the problem is.
Okay.
That's the role of the tester.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Will there be any specific number of test cases to be written for each requirement, or it depends?
It depends. Some requirements will have 50 test cases. Some requirement will have 2 test cases.
And also one more thing, sometimes if we forgot to write the important test case, and if we sign off and if we send the code to the production, so what if there is any bug kind of thing? So
yeah, what happens, I'll tell you. There was, right, and you miss the functionality, right? That's fine.
okay.
That is acceptable, right? That's a miss from our side. We will give you a warning and say next time please don't miss.
Okay.
But if there is a test case and you did not run the test case, and you said you ran the test case, then it.
Okay.
You got it. Any other?
5 people writing test cases. Is there some way that we all know like what other, because
Say I'm your team lead. I will tell not writing test cases for send items, for trash, send pre-test cases for receiving or say what is say send items. Inbox, right, or send mail. So we give you each and every one gets a different functionality. It's not like you decide what you want to write, right? It's given to you.
perfect.
You don't have the say on that.
Yeah, I have a question. Like the example what we are doing now, and then we stopped at the cases 6 only, test cases. So is there like, what if like there's a number that we have to stop, or maybe sometime like for a test I only did like 7 test cases, but there is one more which I couldn't, didn't come to my mind. So will that like how we going to do that? Like?
There's no fixed number. What best you can do is what is, that's all.
Okay.
Say example, a person with 9-year experience might come out with 2 more test cases. Right? A person with 3-year experience will come with 6 test cases. A person with 9 years will come out with 8 test cases.
Yeah.
But a person with 3 years experience, we know that he has only 3-year experience and the payment is also less compared to a 9-year experience, right? So the expectation from a 9-year is much higher compared to a 3-year.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's understood. We know.
Okay.
Got it. Sometimes, we say, I want a 2-year experienced person only. Because that's all the budget I have.
Okay.
So I know the restrictions and the limitations there.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, that's why. But I have a question like,
Yeah, go ahead.
this is a manual test cases, right? Is that like what we do manually?
No, these are not test cases. These are just points. These are not test cases where we can, what can be done on those functionalities, right? When you see the test cases, it is completely different. When we go into manual testing, we program where we are going to write the test cases. At that time, you will know exactly how to write the test case. It's not written like this. It's just an overview we are doing. Okay.
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 So
say
like
example,
when we, yeah.
say example, just for this, enter numeric number only, right? For this, if you are writing the test case, I will start with step 1, launch the application. Blah, 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 blah. This is my URL for launching the application. Step 2, enter 5 in value 1. Step 3, enter 6 in value 2. Step 4, click on the submit button. So in that, when I click on the submit button, the expected result is that the output should be 13. So this is how you write the test case. So for this alone, you will be writing around 6 to 7 steps. For
So every single step you go through, you write it.
Yes.
Okay. So all the steps what you go through is just write down. Okay, that's what I.
Just write down.
Yeah. Okay.
Give me the steps of how to send a mail, right? So I'm going to launch the application. He will log into the application. He will click on the compose. He will enter the user send mail items. You enter the text in the compose box and click on the send. So those steps that you do, right, is what the steps you will write.
Okay. Yes, I got it.
Got it? Okay.
So do we have to write the code you showed for this program, like value 1, value 2?
You don't need to write any code. You are a tester. You will be given the application and you are only supposed to test the application.
Okay.
You don't need to code.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You will do coding when you are doing QTP. You will do scripting there where you're not going to develop an application. See example what I did here. Let me clean this up. I entered 5. I clicked on submit button. Right. I manually did that. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I will write a script there where it will automatically go do that activity for me.
Okay.
Okay. Those are automation testing. We'll come to that. That long wait for that. Where were we? So now we saw how we converted our requirements into a design document, and from the design document into our application, and then we did a small testing for those applications, right?